The Macedonian Wars, a dark chapter in ancient history. The Macedonian Wars, fought between the Roman Republic and the Kingdom of Macedon, were a series of brutal conflicts that reshaped the ancient Mediterranean world. These wars, spanning over a century, 214 BCE, 148 BCE, symbolized the Roman Republic's relentless expansion and the fall of one of the most powerful Hellenistic kingdoms. It was a time of betrayal, greed, and the unforgiving clash of empires, casting a long shadow over ancient history. The Macedonian Wars unfolded during a period when the world was dominated by Hellenistic kingdoms established by Alexander the Great's successors. Among them, the Kingdom of Macedon, under the Antigonid dynasty, was a beacon of military tradition and Greek culture. Meanwhile, the Roman Republic was a growing power in the West, having recently emerged victorious in the Punic Wars against Carthage. Rome's ambitions stretched beyond Italy, and the riches of the East tempted its senators and generals. But Macedon wasn't merely a stepping stone for Rome, it was a proud and defiant kingdom unwilling to bow to foreign rule. The First Macedonian War began against the backdrop of another devastating conflict, the Second Punic War, where Rome was locked in a deadly struggle with Carthage. During this time, Philip V of Macedon saw an opportunity. Allied with Hannibal of Carthage, he aimed to expand his influence into Illyria and Greece while Rome was distracted. However, Philip underestimated Rome's ability to fight on multiple fronts. Roman forces, allied with the Aetolian League, a coalition of Greek city-states, waged a relentless campaign to curb Macedonian ambitions. The war ended inconclusively with the Peace of Phoenix in 205 BCE, but tensions simmered beneath the surface. Rome had its eyes on Macedon and wouldn't forget Philip's betrayal. The Second Macedonian War erupted when Rome accused Philip V of aggression against Greek allies like Rhodes and Pergamon. But the true motive was Rome's thirst for dominance. The Senate branded the war as a campaign to liberate Greece, presenting themselves as protectors of Hellenic freedom. It was propaganda at its finest. In reality, this was a war for power. Rome's legions, led by the skilled general Titus Quinctius Flamininus, clashed with Philip's phalanxes. The decisive moment came at the Battle of Cynocephalae in 197 BCE. Roman forces, utilizing their flexible legionary tactics, overwhelmed the rigid Macedonian phalanx, a tactic that had once made Alexander the Great invincible. After the defeat, Philip was forced to abandon his expansionist dreams and became a vassal of Rome. Rome declared Greece free, but this freedom was an illusion. The once proud Greek states found themselves entangled in Rome's web of control. The Third Macedonian War marked the final downfall of Macedonian independence. Philip V's son, Perseus, sought to restore Macedon's former glory, but his ambitions alarmed Rome. Accusations of conspiracy with Rome's enemies gave the Republic a pretext for war. The campaign was brutal. Perseus initially achieved some success, but the Roman war machine was unstoppable. In 168 BCE, at the Battle of Pydna, Macedonian forces were utterly crushed. The battle demonstrated Rome's military supremacy as the phalanx, for all its might, crumbled against the disciplined Roman legions. Perseus was captured and paraded through Rome in chains, a stark symbol of Macedon's humiliation. The kingdom was divided into smaller republics under Roman control, and its treasures were looted. Rome's greed knew no bounds. A brief resurgence of Macedonian resistance came under a pretender named Andriscus, who claimed to be a descendant of Philip V. He managed to rally support and declared himself king, but his reign was short-lived. Rome crushed the rebellion in 148 BCE, and Macedon was annexed as a Roman province. This marked the complete subjugation of the Hellenistic world by Rome. Macedon, once the land of kings like Philip II and Alexander the Great, was reduced to a footnote in Rome's growing empire. The Macedonian Wars weren't just a tale of military conquest, they were a story of betrayal, cultural destruction, and the erosion of Greek independence. Rome claimed to be liberators, but their true goal was exploitation. Greek temples were stripped of their treasures, cities were plundered, and the Greek spirit of freedom was extinguished. For the people of Macedon, the wars brought suffering. Entire towns were razed, populations enslaved, and traditions erased. The proud kingdom that had once dreamed of uniting the world under Greek culture was now a shadow of its former self. These wars were pivotal in history, marking Rome's emergence as the dominant power in the Mediterranean. They also highlighted the ruthless nature of Roman expansion. The once proud Macedonians, who had conquered Persia under Alexander, became a cautionary tale of what happens when ambition meets a relentless empire. For high school students studying these wars, it's essential to see beyond the battles and understand the human cost. The Macedonian Wars weren't just conflicts, they were the destruction of a way of life, a cultural identity, and a dream of freedom. They remind us of the price of empire and the darkness that often accompanies history's greatest victories.